What's up, people? Okay, I made an interesting little mini series that I'm gonna call the 10 things you should know how to do in your house. Doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, child, whatever, this should be able to help you. At least I think so. All right. First things first, where the water main is and how to shut it off. All right. You should know how to do that just in case you burst a pipe or a faucet breaks in your house. At least you can quickly shut off the feed and limit your cleanup and damage to your property and other people's property. So, if you don't know how to shut the water main off, go watch a YouTube video on how, or go figure out where the water main is for your specific house. It's usually near the front door or the front area somewhere. All right. The second thing is uh, how to shut off the water heater. Now, a typical failure within a house is a water heater. Usually they go old and burst, or the pipes get old and burst, whatever. But typically, there's a shut off valve for the feed going into the water heater as well as the feed coming out of the water heater. So, if you ever have any issues with your water heater, learn how to manipulate those knobs to shut it off and turn it back on and figure out which way is off and which way is on. Because when the water is flooding your house, you're not going to have time to figure that out. So learn that. All right. The third thing is where your circuit breaker panel is and how to operate it. Now, there could be a million reasons why you need to know how to operate a circuit breaker panel, whether you're doing electrical work or, I don't know, there's a fire. Well, maybe in a fire, you probably won't be playing with your electrical, but know where the panel is and what each breaker does. Okay. The fourth thing is uh, a fire extinguisher. Now, funny thing is, there's fire extinguishers in most of the places that we go to, and the most common problem is people don't know how to operate them. So, what I'm saying here is, you should have a fire extinguisher in your house, and you should also know how to use it. Okay. So, my recommendation is buy one and also buy a dummy one that you can practice with and figure out how to use. So, most fires in houses start in the kitchen. And usually, when they happen in the kitchen, it's probably a grease fire or an electrical fire, things that you can't put out with water. So, a fire extinguisher should help that. Okay, so go get one and figure out how to use it. The next thing is if you live in a house with gas, know where the gas master shutoff is. Okay, that's for you people up north. The next thing is a first aid kit. Now, funny enough, most people don't have first aid kits in their homes, and most people don't even know how to use the things that come in first aid kits, but it's good to have one. And the reason I'm pointing that out is typically in an emergency situation, I learned in a class that I took is that the people that help out the most during emergency situations is actually not necessarily the people you call 911 for. It's the people that know what to do in an emergency situation until help from 911 comes. Okay? So you should have a first aid kit in your house. You should probably go take a class and learn things about like arterial bleeding, venous bleeding, and just what's in a first aid kit and learn how to administer aid with the things that come in a first aid kit. I'll leave it at that. Next thing is exits. All possible exits within your home. All right. Most people know about the front door and the back door, but what about the windows? What about the side doors? What about the secret hatches? Now, the reason you want to know about this is what if you have a fire and the main exits that you know about are blocked? What are your alternate routes? Okay. Another thing is the windows. Everybody says that, oh, if something happened in my house, I'm going to go here, I'm going to do there, I'm going to jump out the window. But have you actually tried to jump out the window? Does your window have latches on it? Does it have locks? If you need to break the window, do you have a tool to break the window? Practice those things. But more importantly, figure out where all the exits are. Not only in your house, really, you should figure out where the exits are anywhere you go. Little tidbit. But in your house, figure out where they at. Next one is where your smoke and CO2 sensors are and if they work. I know there's a common joke among black folks about how we don't fix our smoke detectors. You always hear the beeping in the background, but if you go to sleep and you got a car that's left running in the garage, that CO2 can come and you could die in your sleep. If there's a fire, that smoke detector, the intention is for that to wake you up in case of the smoke. Because in a fire, most people actually don't die from the fire; they die from smoke inhalation. So make sure those sensors work, please. I keep calling them sensors, but they're detectors. Sensor detector, same thing. All right. What else? What else? What else? Next one: CPR and the Heimlich maneuver. Okay. Again, when you call 911, if somebody goes down choking or can't breathe, you call 911. That time that it takes for 911 to get there is precious. Okay. So learning CPR and learning the Heimlich maneuver can save your loved ones' lives. So you should know how to do that in your house. Everybody should know how to do that in your house. All right. And what else? What else? What else? What else? Plan A, B, and C. Okay, this is a special one. Now, the reason I say plan A, B, and C, you and your family should be drilling for any scenario that happens. So, for example, if you have an intruder, an armed intruder, what are you going to do? Most times when that happens to you, that's your first time dealing with it. And some people panic, some people don't. But the more you practice, at least you have an idea of what you're going to do first, second, and third. So you should practice in case of a fire, where you're going to go, in case of a intruder, what you're going to do, how you're going to protect yourself. Uh, if somebody gets hurt, what are you going to do? You should always be practicing those things because that'll cut down the time for you to be successful at saving your life, your loved one's life, whatever. All right. And let's see. Did I cover it all? Looks like, yeah, that looks like it. So those are the 10 things that you should know how to do in your house and in your crib. I hope that helps you out. Until next time.